Five, four, three, two, one.
Uh, okay, let me get my Google Doc up. Okay, hello and welcome to the Race Hangover again. I'm your host, Austin Terry, joined by my other host, Caleb Budler. I keep doing this, you're not fucking there. Anyways, it was Imola this weekend, for F1, of course, and a lot happened. People say Imola's a boring race weekend, but it was actually really good. And if this was the last Imola Grand Prix we're going to see before it gets stripped of the calendar due to greed, it went out with a bang. But let's go through the entire race weekend. I didn't watch the free practices, so you can start with this because you did for some reason, Katie.
I only watched one of them, and it was, I think, because I was at work and I wanted to watch it. But the only note I had from free practice is Colapinto, obviously his first race back in F1, and he needed the practice, and he just decided to race everybody in free practice. He was like blocking people from getting by. He was fully like racing all practice, and it was really funny. And then we go on to his qualifying. But yeah, that's kind of the only note from practice, other than like the usual suspects doing well. I know Aston Martin was like playing around with some things in practice. They gave Stroll whatever the upgrades were in practice, and then in qualifying, they're like, "Okay, Alonso, you get them." So there's that. But yeah, Colapinto in free practice was really the one funny thing I wanted to note because he was just going crazy.
I saw online somewhere. I don't have the source, but it was pretty much just McLaren plus a random driver because it was who
Yeah,
was it? Who
it was
was first?
Carlos.
It was Carlos and then it was Gasly.
Yeah,
You weren't too happy about that, but we,
he
but
doing
it
that?
was just so funny. It was the McLaren show
Yeah,
borrowing another driver. Okay, so
until
we can
quali.
yeah, on to Collie. We both watched this, I feel.
Yes, we were
Yep.
messaging back and forth, I think.
Yes, we did. That Yuki crash was crazy. We're just
That
gonna
was
start off because that was like
scary.
the first thing that happened. It was like almost reminiscent of not reminiscent of the Guan Yu Zhao or Zhao Guan Yu, I forget how to say it. Um, the Silverstone incident with George and the race a couple of years ago where he was just like upside down for a bit. Obviously not the same thing. Zhao glided across gravel upside down. Yuki did a flip in the air.
Yeah,
But glad to see him walk away from it. It was quite the
crazy
scene.
to just literally walk out of that, like no harm done. Like that's wild.
It's so crazy how they can like a 300 kilometer an hour crash and then you just
Yeah.
get up and walk away. And it's like I'd be out of commission for like ever. And then speaking of crashes, Pinto proceeds to crash while under investigation for a penalty, wasn't he?
Yeah, for yeah, impeding, I think.
Yeah.
Not a good weekend for him. At least, I mean,
Mhm.
his Sunday was fine, but like it's Friday, Saturday. Not ideal.
I mean, you can cut him some slack. He hasn't participated in the
Yeah,
qualifying
for sure.
since last year. Actually, not last year. It was the end. So never
Yeah.
mind. Uh, but it was actually it was last year. I'm an idiot. But yeah, you can cut him some slack. He didn't truly participate in it, but he did all right
Yeah.
for what it was.
The one funny thing about, and then it's not funny when someone crashes, but the one funny thing about Columbus' crash was the immediate cut to Jack Doohan laughing his ass off in the paddock after. Like that is diabolical. I was watching that live and they're like, that replay's not from right now. And then later someone comes in and like, no, that replay was from right after he crashed. I was like, what?
Oh, speaking of doing, I'm gonna put this on pause real quick. He like we've all seen Formula Fakers or whatever it is
Yeah.
on Twitter. He posted that one fake screenshot of like his like the Colapinto crash and
Yeah.
pretended it was Doohan's dad
Yeah.
saying something about him, and this is his Instagram story. Doohan's family have been getting threats and like hate for like the past couple of days for it, like to the point where I think Doohan today or yesterday put out statements on his like Instagram, I think, of like, hey guys, please stop. Like it was a fake post. He didn't actually say that.
Yeah.
But and then Formula Fakers went and apologized, whatever. But it's like it was just a really terrible thing just that came out of that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to briefly mention
Average
that.
Colapinto fan, I fear.
You're gonna get us hate, please. Please don't.
That's not getting clipped. It's okay.
Please don't clip that. Please don't post that anywhere. Anyways, moving on to something more lighthearted. Ferrari.
Not
Wait,
lighthearted.
that's lighthearted for people who don't support Ferrari. Jacob Cullen, however, did not like it.
Yeah, friend of the podcast. He's not doing well. Yeah,
Still,
but P12, P11, not not good.
no, it's not what you wanted to see, especially at a home race.
Yeah,
And but also to be outshined by the Aston
I
Martins
was
is
gonna say
also
both of them too. Not even like one slipped through there. Both
both of
of
them
them.
after they've been
We're getting
average.
outqualified by Lance Stroll, the guy who has the most Q1 exits in Formula One history.
To be fair, Lance Stroll isn't as bad of a driver as people make him out
No,
to
no, he's not a
be.
bad driver. He's a horrible car.
Under the circumstances of his dad just owning that team, you can give him a lot of grief for that. But if his dad didn't own that team and he had that seat anyway, you can argue he wouldn't have had the seat. But had he had the seat anyway, he'd still be in F1. He's a decent
Yeah,
enough driver.
he's
Maybe
good.
he'd be on the verge of going out, but he never is. You never see, oh, is Stroll gonna exit? No. But I don't I don't have strong feelings toward Lance Stroll, but I think people people make him out to be way worse than he actually is.
Yeah, it's just funny to joke about.
It is really funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are really funny, it's getting comical how bad Lando is at qualifying this season. He really just can't pull out he's not that far behind everyone, but he just keeps like that final lap where you need him to put it together, it just slips away from him, and it's
Yeah.
just a case of
And
what is
it's
happening there.
literally just Q3 too. Like he was fine in Q1 and Q2. And then
Mhm.
and
He
free practice,
led
like literally everything. And then his race pace is fine. It's literally just Q3 he can't do.
he led FP3 as well, so
Yeah.
you're thinking surely, but it's just a huge question mark. Like, and especially with Monaco coming up, if he can
Yeah.
put that together almost, because there is just way like Monaco, you need to qualify well. If you don't qualify well, it's it's a question mark on well, it's where you qualify is where you finish, barring you smack the wall.
Yeah.
Um, and he needs to get to that level of if he puts it on the front row, he'll stay on the front row. Maybe, hopefully, with an undercut or something, be able to get P1. But if he can't do that, I fear he's stuck wherever he is because that track is not kind for overtaking with the size of the cars nowadays.
Yeah. So only time will tell on that one.
Hmm.
The other note I had was the Behrman Bortoleto delay, and that was just kind of weird. Like, I mean, red flags were a big part of this qualifying, obviously with Columbito and Sonoda, but like it was delayed for so long, and then they never even said the answer. They just Bortoleto went out, and they're like, okay, perfect, but they never said what happened.
Yeah, and the whole Behrman crossing the line and then three
Yeah,
seconds later the red flag comes out and they just don't count his lap.
it looked like the red flag came up before, I thought.
There's some angles showed it
Yeah.
or like coming out just before and then some showed it afterward. It's
Yeah,
strange.
I
It
get why
is
they looked at it for so long. It was a really just a weird situation.
yeah, you feel for the kid because
Unfortunate, yeah, especially because
yeah.
literally going from just 10 to all the way down to 19, and then yeah,
Yeah. It happens to like everyone though. I
yeah,
mean, at some point in a driver's career, they'll get screwed in qualifying by a yellow flag or a red flag, and it's just unfortunate.
it is. And then finally, I just want to shout out Carlos's Q2 really quick, finishing P1 Q2, out of nowhere, knocking out the Ferraris basically. Like, what a story for the kid.
The kid, he's grown. He's like 30 something.
Hey, shut up,
Shut up, the kid.
shut up
Uh,
the kid.
moving on to the race, I think I'll take a hold of this one because you're sleeping for the first couple laps.
Literally only the first few. The race was 9-9, and then you text me at 9-11. Like it was really not that long, but whatever.
It was funny because I was like, usually I get messages from you before, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
is it like it'll be like, oh, like I wonder if like Lando can do this or whatever. I just had radio silence. You just weren't anywhere to be found, and I was like, this is a bit strange. And then the second I texted the Gasly thing, she like woke up. It's
Gasly
like
McGravel summoned me. I was dead asleep, and
the hate watch woke her up, and I'm like, what is happening here?
oh, that's funny.
Okay, so Yuki did start from the pit lane due to his crash. I don't think he put a full lap in. They had to, fix the car.
Yeah.
But he did that well. Colapinto sent a little nice radio message to his engineers on the formation lap saying, "Oh, thank you guys for rebuilding the car." So nice wholesome stuff there. But off the start, Oscar made a huge mistake. George George was flying. George could have very well. He got the better start out of him and Verstappen and Piastri, but he unfortunately covered George more than he covered Verstappen, and into that first turn, Verstappen just flew around him. Just it was an amazing overtake, and after that, he just peeled down the road. Verstappen was gone, and Piastri was left to rue his mistakes. But in lap three, the summoning of Katie happened. Leclerc forced Gasly into the gravel and ended up and started a small text chain from us.
I haven't
After
even seen
that,
the replay. Like I didn't even see it yet.
yeah, you
Oh
watched
wow.
the highlights back. It's quite funny. But after that, Lando was stuck behind George after the start of the race, and on lap 11 finally overtakes him. Not on the DRS straight, which
It was
was
a great
very
overtake.
surprising. Yeah,
Great overtake.
but it took him 3 laps of trying to
Yeah.
do several overtakes before he just finally got the better of George,
But
which
when he
is
did it, it was good. It took a while.
yeah, finally when he does it.
Finally.
And then so next Piastri pit at some point. I didn't write the lap down for this, but it was a 3.6 second because the front right
Yeah.
front right tire just wouldn't go off and go on. So it was a slow one, and that was meant to undercut Verstappen, but McLaren didn't anticipate Verstappen staying out for as long as he did.
Yeah.
Everyone thought the tires were screwed, but they realized, luckily, while Lando was out there, that the medium tire can actually go over 20 laps.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on lap 29, we got the Ocon DNF where he just found the grass because mechanical failure, car went poof. And Max pitted under the VSC, so he was a solid 30 seconds ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
By that point, I think I was 30 seconds ahead of Albon and P2 at that point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
lap 34 was Lewis finally passed Kimi Antonelli after trying the entire race to pass Kimi. That huge picture of the Mercedes, like the really wide Mercedes. And it's like Hamilton's POV. I saw that somewhere. I just didn't save it, and I really wanted to save it. But on lap 40, Oscar retakes P3 from Albon after finally catching him.
R.I.P.
After
Bono.
Yeah, he had a good race and he salvaged what he could from it, because everything seemed to go wrong for him at times. Lap 46, Kimi's home race DNF led to a safety car. Poor guy. His classmates were probably really sad.
Yeah.
Uh,
The whole class there. It's all white
you,
crush. What's gonna happen?
no, it's oh my gosh. No, it's really intriguing because he got a group of Italians to wear
Mercedes
rival,
hats.
yeah, Mercedes gear, and I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it's acceptable if you're supporting an Italian. If he wasn't Italian, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
But after that safety car, Lando had a slow pit stop due to the same front right tire incident. And on the restart, after everyone's weaving and everything, Verstappen wheeled away again, like couldn't be touched. Lando tried to plead with the team to
Yeah.
have Oscar kind of let him pass so
He's
that
so
he can
polite
go
with
for the win.
it.
But I think the team thought that just caused too much drama and controversy due to
Yeah.
the title fight, so they told him just race it out. Which eventually, after some fighting, on lap 58, Lando passed Oscar for P2, and then immediately after that, well, not immediately, 2 laps after that, Leclerc forces Albon off the track with Lewis going through on lap 60. So almost a Silverstone moment, but this was just the Tifosi erupted for that. It was electric. But a few on lap 61, so the very next lap, Lewis took P4 from Leclerc. Leclerc kind of moved over because Lewis was on the faster tire, just let him go. And Albon retook the position from Leclerc after team orders almost immediately after that, because if you watch the replay of what happened, Albon was ahead and Leclerc just gave him zero space. So I think the team were avoiding a penalty with such tightly packed cars,
Mhm.
by just taking the 4-6 instead of the 4-5. But that ended the race. Verstappen, Norris, Piastri were your top three, and that is all I have for the really detailed race recap.
Yeah, that was more technical than usual.
Yeah, yeah, I do work here. I do things.
Hey guys, you posted on Twitter today, big moment.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, top three moments. This one I actually struggled to find three good moments. Because like there were a lot of good racing moments, but usually we go more for the memes, and there
Mhm.
really like wasn't that much in this race. So,
Yeah,
what's your top one
my
of your
top
top three? Give me
in
we'll go
one of
back.
them. We'll go back and forth. So my first one was that Verstappen overtake because it was just pure brilliance. That was my kind of only racing one I have there.
Okay, I'll just go with a similar one. I had the Lando overtake on George as one of the top
Mm.
moments because I mean I know it took a while, but when it did happen, it was pretty nice. So
Yeah, understandable. My
yeah,
next one was Leclerc crying over the radio the entire race. Every couple laps, that radio icon came on, and it's like, "I'm so unlucky, man. This is bad," and it got annoying at some point where it's just like, put your head down and race. Like things aren't going your way. They never go your way. What's the difference today? It's
I
Yeah,
mean Ferrari home race, like everything's going wrong. If I was him, I would be pretty.
it always goes wrong for a
I
home
know.
race.
No, I know.
So
And
it's
everything
yeah.
this season goes wrong for Ferrari. Like I think he's just fed up, and
It
I
was
would
it,
too.
it was a reasonable crash out, but it was just really funny to me because it was just non-stop. Like everything that happened, it was just him complaining about it, and it was just okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, this one's a joke, but I had Gasly in the gravel.
I knew you were gonna have that.
I didn't even watch it. I haven't seen it, but automatic top three.
And my third one is the life-size Oscar Piastri pizza.
Yeah, that's great.
That was unreal. And the person that and it hit ESPN and they just like tweeted out like, why is my floor on
I
ESPN?
saw that. It's so funny. Yeah, I didn't see that tweet at first. I just saw everyone talking about it and being like,
Mhm.
just talking about Oscar. I saw the first thing I think when I saw was whoever made that life-size pizza like cursed him or I just kept saying Oscar Pizzastri and I was like, what is happening? And then I finally came across the pizza. I was like, oh God. My third no moment is also Piastri, and I have him climbing all the way back from after
Mm,
that, like, not
yeah.
great pit. Because that's when I tuned in. It was when I turned it on, it was like straight Oscar cam for like 10 minutes. They were like, and now he takes this person, and now he passes this one. I was like, and then Kimi, or no, Kimi, Yuki just literally let him through. That is not on my list, but that's a funny moment too. Everyone's like, okay, now the second Red Bull driver is gonna like protect Max from him, slow him down, and Yuki's like,
Them telling him like do your best to hold him up, Yuki, and he couldn't do it, so
he
he
couldn't do
just
it.
moved out.
Yeah, that was funny too.
But yeah, I feel like I had the more unserious ones for that one, which is I usually had
Yeah,
the
the
race ones,
pizza.
but
Yeah. Yeah, mine were all
it,
like actually things that happen on track. So
yeah. So I feel like that's a great segue into the awards.
our the Race
Our
Hangover
little yes,
awards.
the Race Hangover award ceremony that we do every week,
Okay,
barring on race weeks.
who was your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen.
See, I have Max Verstappen in brackets, boring version, but then my regular, my other driver of the day is Alex Albon. So
Albon, yeah, Albon did really well. I just
Albon,
have Verstappen because of
I knew you'd pick
he
him.
doesn't he
So
doesn't have the fastest car, but yet he just
yeah,
stormed ahead of everyone. I thought that was just really impressive, and
for
he
sure.
he deserved it. Also, to do it again on a restart, still really impressive.
One of the rare occasions where Salesforce driver of the day may have gotten it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna copy the sales strategy of the day every time.
Yeah, good luck defending that half the time.
The fan vote, then it's just Lando all the time. Last year it was so jarring because he would like bottle P1 and then they go, driver of the day, Lando. You're like, what?
Yeah. Um, Max had a great race, but like no
Mhm.
one wants to hear about that. So Alex Albon, my driver of the day. Comeback king.
I I have one I'm gonna say, and then I want to just give an honorable mention to someone else.
I
Uh,
have
my
that as well.
my
So
my my comeback king is Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah,
coming from P12 all the way to P4.
that's what I have.
Really good work from him. But I also want to mention how Yuki started P20 and finished P10.
Yeah, very true.
That was I
I
would
was
have had him
intrigued
there,
after that.
but Lewis was just really more
Yeah,
impressive
I
and
had
more
Lewis too,
vital for him in that home race.
for sure. Yeah, I'd lose too, and then I also had an honorable mention. Yuki's a good one, but I also just had like shout out Lando really quick because
Mhm.
like I mean it's becoming routine at this point where he kind of just sucks in qualifying and finds his way back to the podium. So
At
maybe
some point, we got to stop giving him this
maybe we need to stop
award.
awarding him for this, but
Start scolding him like he's
yeah.
race engineer.
Yeah. Best radio?
I texted this to you.
Oh, I
It was the
know.
Carlos Sainz one after I forget who touched him. Someone had touched him
Yuki.
and Yuki
Again.
touched him.
That's why it
He
was like again.
yeah on the radio like this guy touched me again like in Bahrain. That was just really funny to me. I actually
Immediately
started
Austin's like,
laughing.
radio of the day, radio of the day. And I've seen that screenshot everywhere of like the radio. Yeah. Need to work on your phrasing, King. But
No.
I
I
had
think it's perfect.
I had Charles and all of his complaining as my best radio because I knew what yours was gonna be because you told me. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll give it to Charles. But
Charles.
also honorable mention for Lando just pleading his case at the end there. Because he was trying so
It
hard
was
to be polite.
poetic. It
He
was
was
so
trying so hard to
poetic.
be like, I see that Oscar's tires are a little degraded. He was just like observing. He was like, I mean, I think you know what to do.
I think he was. I was waiting for him to bring up Hungary. Just be like, guys, I did it for him in Hungary.
Yeah.
Please, like,
No one bring up Hungary, please. Like,
please.
but also he at one point he's like, I'm not asking you to let me through, but like, no, I know you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was so funny.
that was funny.
But the Invisible Man Award, this could go to several drivers. There are a
So
lot.
I'm gonna do mine first because this is very shocking for me. Because usually this guy is all over what I'm talking about. But Liam Lawson was like the only one of the mid to lower drivers that no one really talked about.
I completely forgot about Liam.
Yeah,
The entire like
usually
he's not even on my award. That's how much I forgot about him.
because usually he's like doing a ton of stuff. And also like there was a lot going on with all the like mid to lower drivers this weekend, like with the Behrman Borderello thing, like Yuki, all like everyone was just and then obviously both Alpines and the Aston
Mhm.
Martins were more talked about than usual. And so Liam really just fell through the cracks because Isaac Hadjar had a great race too. So
Yeah.
no one really, yeah, he really fell through the cracks. And that was a good pick because you didn't even remember it.
Yeah. Well, my driver of the day, you might also forget that he was out there. Gabriel Bortoleto.
No, but I like thought about him.
I that was my first thought. I was just like, who what I was like, what driver have I not seen the entire
Yeah.
time? And
And
then I
you
was like,
forgot Liam.
Bortoleto. Because usually Liam's like he usually has an
Usually
award. It's
scratching
usually the brake
someone.
check champion one.
Yeah.
But I was fully prepared to just be like, because it was Bortoleto. Like I understand he's in the Castle, but he can't do much.
No.
But if you can't do much, maybe have some excitement. I don't know.
Yeah, do
But
something.
he's just out there. He's driving clean races, whatever. Fair
Yeah.
play to him. But I just completely forgot he was out there, and also forgot he was a driver on the grid for a second. It was that's why he's the invisible man for me.
Yeah. Also, this is not regarding this, but honorable mention just in general to Oliver Behrman being stuck in P2 on the restart. I texted you, I was like, P2 Ollie. And then you got like that's so like I would be so embarrassed. It's like, okay, now all cars can unlap themselves. It's
It's
like
just him.
it's just him.
I saw it and I'm like, when are they gonna unlap him? Like
Yeah.
it went around for like 4 laps and he
Yeah.
still hadn't unlapped, and I'm like, are they just gonna
Uncharted
restart
territory.
like this?
Uncharted territory for Ollie Behrman.
The
Yeah.
only time he's gonna sniff P2.
Only time we'll see the back of Max's car like that. But yeah.
So brake check champion, who did you have?
I Yuki because you whacked Carlos.
I had Leclerc because
Yeah, fair enough.
he forced two drivers into the gravel. I think that deserves
I
it.
would do it, yeah.
And because he was crashing around, it's a chaos creator award. He was
Yeah,
crashing out. He was crashing
he was
out.
crashing
I
out.
had to give it to him there.
I mean, I
But
think Yuki brought quite a bit of fanfare as well, but
I mean Yuki as well. Like I know this one's just for the race,
yeah,
but him still flipping upside
yeah,
down.
got it. Yeah.
That kind of does stuff. But yeah, what
Yeah.
a that was, I feel like that was one of the first times we, barring the Lewis one, had like different
Very
ones.
different, yeah. No,
Yeah.
we usually have different ones, but like we switched. Like the past few we've like switched comeback and driver of the day a lot.
Hmm.
Like we've had a lot of the same names but in different ones. But yeah, we were very different except for the Lewis one.
Hmm.
But like he was just the undoubtedly the comeback king. So
Yeah, his race pace is unbelievable, but his quality pace is shocking.
yeah, that's the story for Ferrari, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, looking ahead to Monaco though,
That's
the
um,
interview
I,
the interview of Charles when they were like, "So, like, are you expecting better things?" No.
no.
I think that it was in French too. Like I saw everyone
Well,
quoting it in English and then I watched it and it was in French and it's the way he says no.
I feel for him, man.
Yeah.
That home race, something funny is gonna happen. I think he's gonna qualify like really high, and he's just gonna smack a wall. Like there's gonna be something always goes wrong for him,
Oh,
and
I said the
I
time
feel
it
for
didn't
him
and he won.
that one time. But yeah, I feel something's gonna go horribly wrong. Also, if you have the attitude of things aren't gonna get
Yeah.
better, like I know Ferrari can strip you of your hope terribly. Like if you watched the last episode, we
Yeah.
saw it, but. I mean, if like it's your home race, you should at least have some hope going into it. Like I
Yeah.
know it just makes it more devastating when something does go wrong, but at least like the joy and whimsy in life, try and find it again, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Like it's bad.
It is bad. It's getting bad. Yeah. It's funny. It's like him and Alex Albon have switched radios. Like for the first few races, it was just like him crashing out, and now everything's going well for Alex. So
Yeah.
someone
But
in the
that
same
Williams is
place.
impressive.
Yeah.
And the fact that this isn't even the year they're focusing on as well.
Yeah.
Next year I'm actually like would genuinely believe they're like will be like the third fastest car in the grid, if not higher. They put all of their R&D development into that 2026, and it's it's scary. But you know, fair play. They've been awful for so long. They deserve this. They deserve it.
It is.
Um, it's just unfortunate for all the drivers who have had to go through Williams while they were awful, and some that just got casted aside. Some got promoted, like George, to
Mhm.
um Mercedes, but majority of them got cast aside, and you feel for them because they kind of were a part of the journey of helping them,
Yeah.
figure out this needs to happen. But you'll be missed, Logan Sargent.
I was gonna. That's what I was gonna.
You smashed that car so well.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah. That's kind of it, really. And
Yeah, I mean it's race week again, so
yep.
you'll see us next Monday, post that, and if you follow us everywhere at the Race Hangover, great name by the way. We are very chronically online. Well, Katie is. I've been at work a decent amount where I can't be on my phone. So
I've been at work.
yeah, but you at least allowed to be on your phone at times. I'm not. I I get scolded if I am, so I can't. I'm not gonna like start tweeting out at work because
You
I'll
should.
get home and I'll see like all the ones you tweeted. I'm like, oh no, I'll see them on my feed, and I'll go onto the Race Hangover to like see if
How
like
many did you?
it's there, and then I'm like, oh, I just all of the ones I wanted to say something about have been said. So
So
I'm
many
like,
times you send me something on like to my personal Twitter that I've already reposted on the Race Hangover. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah, because I haven't seen.
I know. I take my little breaks at work and I go on Twitter and I just retweet everything.
Yeah, I'll like get notifications and it's just like liked by Katie, and I'm just I didn't tweet.
But that's how I was today when you were like, follow us on Spotify, and I was like, I didn't post that. Link and everything.
Yeah, I got a day off today.
I need more of these.
I need no, I don't. I need the money.
Oh. Anyway, follow us on Spotify. If you don't want to watch but you want to listen, is how
Yeah.
Austin so kindly put it.
If you don't want to see our faces, I understand. Please at least listen to us. Either way, as long as you're engaging in our content, I am perfectly happy.
As long as you like, follow, hit the subscribe button, do all that, we're happy.
Yeah.
And
When
that's
when we
about it.
when we eventually get monetized, this set is gonna upgrade.
We will be in person.
Yeah.
But that is all for this week, and we will see you next week for the Monaco Grand Prix, hoping it's good news all around, of course. Um, any last words, Austin?
Banana.
Great.